Alright, welcome to all classic car enthusiasts. Just wanted to say this is obviously a car video, but I just wanted to say that I will, if I get enough people want it, I will try and make another YouTube channel for this conspiracy theory thing. As I said, it's just to see what people's ideas are about different things, but I can put it on a different channel if you feel strongly enough about it. I'm not quite sure how to do it, but I could probably get somebody to do it for me, or make another channel up from scratch. So I just thought I'd get your opinion on that. So in this video I'm trying to do some bits and pieces onto the track day car. It's quite difficult, even though we're stuck at home in isolation. It's kind of hard to get kind of motivated. It's so easy to just jump in front of the computer and watch YouTube all day or whatever. Because there doesn't seem any momentum to do anything at the moment, but I will be getting on with the cars. I've got loads of jobs I can do. Fortunately, I've got enough spares. The spares that I actually require, I haven't bought. I haven't sent off to many spares in the UK because I'm a bit concerned that with the courier vans, maybe not coming out, they could get lost in transit or get stuck somewhere. So I think I'll wait until this situation eases up somewhat, and then get the parts sent out that I actually need. There is no hurry. At the end of the day, our health is more important than cars. So. And on that note, I hope you're all well, your family's well, and like I said before, doing the right thing. I think self-isolating is the way to do it. My wife is in Vienna, I'm here, but we're going to go and do it right and self-isolate. So I go down to the shop about once every 4 days when I need it. I'm lucky that I live in the country and it's not an issue, and I can go out to the garage. I haven't seen anybody for 10 days or so. That's not true actually. There was somebody here about 8 days ago, but just one person I've seen since I basically came back from the Middle East, from Dubai. The other things, obviously Amir and Refka can't be here because they're trapped down in Bosnia. They can't get through the Croatian and Slovenian border, so I don't know how we're going to work that out. We'll just have to suck it and see, like everybody else. There are more important things at the moment, and people's health and not catching this virus is obviously the most important one. So on that note, I hope you enjoy the video. I'm trying to put a few up every couple of days if I can, because I think this is a time when we're stuck at home. We can look at these things and see what you think. But hopefully you'll stay safe and everybody's good and comes out of this the other end. So take care. Bye for now. So this is what we've got at the moment. We've basically got a basic dashboard. It's in 3 pieces. The centerpiece is there so we can get the filter out, and Amir has now changed this control panel so you can actually, once you're harnessed in, you can still operate these switches. Obviously this is just a steering wheel we're using just now. The proper one is actually up there on that tabletop. So what I'm looking at doing now is working out what we need. We obviously need an RPM gauge of some kind, and we need the main gauges in, but where I'm actually going to put them, I was thinking about maybe making a center console, and I thought maybe not, something to bang your knee against. And after talking with Max, he thought that the shorter runs would be better. So what I'll do is I'll have a look around and see what I can make up, and I'll get maybe some cardboard or something and see if I can't mock something up. So I'll bring you back when I've had a look at what we can do. See, I've made up this bit of cardboard which I'll try in the car. This angle might need to be greater, I'm not quite sure yet, but I'll fit it in the car first and try it. These are the stack gauges that I got. That's obviously oil temperature, and we'll need to get an oil pressure the same. And this is the fuel gauge, and then we'll need a water temperature. This is them here stacked there. I think they're quite I don't think they're a cheap alternative. The other thing I wanted to make up was basically some kind of we need a digital readout, and I'll show you the one that I'm going to look at from Car Builder Solutions. There are some of them are extremely expensive and too multifunctional for what we really need. but I'll show you it once it's set up in the car, and we can go from there. So basically what I want to do now is just mock things up and just see if they'll work, how they look, if they're not infringing in the cab or internally in the car, and then we'll see how it looks. We're just looking at the way we want to set up the instruments in here. So what I'm thinking is, we were talking initially about putting it here above, but Max, who is a friend of mine in Graz, does a few race minis, a few track day minis, and his thoughts are that having the wiring coming up this A post, you know, if it was to be caught by a piece of sharp welding or whatever, it could short out, having a live coming all the way up there, which is a point. Although I have seen some rally cars with them above here, and but anyway, he makes some good points. It's extra cable, it's extra weight, and so on. So I'm thinking about is something like this. This is just obviously a cardboard template to see what it would look like. And so what I'm thinking is maybe mounting the 4 gauges. So what we need oil temperature, oil pressure, water temperature, and fuel. And they're the gauges we're going to put in. So what I'm thinking about is to stand it off from the dash. This is aluminium we've got in here at the moment. The center one I want to keep plain, because at the moment we can slide this out and still get to the air filter at the back of the Weber. And instead of putting it up here, like I just said, put it down here so that all the switches can be operated from the seat when you're harnessed in. Which does make sense, and it's not in the way of the gear stick or the steering wheel. The other thing is we're looking at an electronic RPM gauge, and you can see obviously I'm sat in the center. That would give a pretty good view to it. That's approximately the size we're looking at. It could be slightly larger, but it would be a digital RPM gauge, which would have other functions in it as well, probably 8 or 10 different functions, but mainly RPM. So it would show a scale and lighting as we're getting up to the maximum RPM, so it'd have an RPM limiter on it. So I don't know what you guys think. I mean, that's basically right in your face, and those would be, you can imagine those where those circles are would be the gauges. They're stack gauges. I don't know what you think, if that's a good layout or not. I think that's probably going to be the easiest way to do it. So what I'm intending to do now is to cut the center of this one out. They're 3 separate ones, so they're screwed in separately. There is a normal cover there that goes on to the top, which has got padding in it. So we'll put that on just to make it look nice and finish it off, rather than have metal to metal, which is just a black normal dash top, if you like, and everything else will be blue inside. So that's what I'm thinking. As I say, this is just a CAD, as we like to laughingly call it, cardboard aided design. But I think that'll work. It won't be in the way of the passenger, and most of the time it won't be a passenger, it'll just be a single, just with the driver. So yeah, let me know what you think. But in every position you can operate those controls. The only thing you would be wanting to do anyway is either turn off, is obviously one switch will be for ignition, the other switch would be fuel pump, and the other one we're not sure about at the moment. So as long as you can actually operate those, you can actually turn the car off, because you wouldn't want to use the isolator to turn it off. You would want to turn the ignition power off first. Initially the third switch was going to be for electrifying. We wanted to put an electric water pump on it and not a mechanical water pump, but because we want to keep the budget reasonable this year, we've got a mechanical pump. So that's where we are so far. So I've got a few jobs to do on the engine. I've been advised by Max to take the coil. We had it here, which it is on most cars, certainly the earlier ones. But of course, with this engine being a race engine, it's going to be very high revving. There could be quite a bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Quite a bit of vibration. So what I'm going to do is actually put it onto this, where it's on some other minis. It's actually on that head bolt there and comes down. So in fact, what we'll do is we'll sit it, and it can sit on there like that. So it'll cut down the vibration a little bit. Yeah, and still got a few things to do, but I will need to start this up. Excuse me a second. I will need to start this up and run it for 15-20 minutes each day. It's not good for it just to sit there. Paul mentioned that to me. Unfortunately, it's snowing outside, so not really much I can do. And I certainly don't want to take it out because we've done a fair bit of work to the body. There was some bad stuff around this roof here and here on the quarter panel and the A panels, so I don't want to take it out and get rust on it or whatever. With the lockdown that we've got now, I need to be a bit careful. We don't know if it's going to be 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. We don't know, so I'll need to keep it in and keep it dry. But yeah, and you can see the rear arches are off as well at the moment. Still got quite a few things to do. I need to look at putting some kind of, there's going to be an aluminium tray in there. Somebody's obviously cut these out for the speakers. Yeah, I'd like to put some kind of stoplight, I think, some quite heavy, big stoplight in the back, or a brake light, I should say. Because obviously if we're on the track days, we shouldn't have people up our backside, but with the Mini being so low, the lights are quite low, and maybe that would help if it's above, a little bit higher up. But we'll see how we go. This is definitely one of the jobs I can get on with. The arches have already been fitted on this carbon fibre bonnet, or bonnet in front. And obviously that black line there is where it comes, that line there, the pencil line, is where the arch comes to, and obviously this is the hole keeping it on. So what we'll probably do is take at least half that out. And one very good tip that came from Trev's blog is using a washer with a pen or a pencil or whatever, and then keeping the washer onto that lip and then rolling it along. And that's what we'll do, because you definitely need to cut out the fronts on these with the 13s. They're too big, especially with the steering and the width of the tyres. They will catch, so we need to do that. But also I'd like to strengthen them up as well. As you can see under there is there's a second hood as well, which is fiberglass, but that will be the backup one we use underneath. You can see it under there. We'll just use that as the backup one. This carbon fibre one will be the proper one.